The EOS M5 is the enthusiast level mirrorless camera. It's packed full of technology to help you get that perfect shot. In this video, I'm going to take a quick look at some of the key features of the camera to help you get to know your new EOS M5. Okay, so let's get started with putting the lens on and off. To attach the lens, we will need to hold down this button here and simply rotate the lens to the right-hand side. And when you're attaching it, please make sure you line up the white circles and click the lens around into place. When you're ready to jump in and start using the camera, you need to make sure that you unlock the lens. To do that, simply move this little switch here forward and rotate the lens around. This will allow you to use the full range of zoom. When you're finished using the lens and you want to retract it as small as possible, simply do the same thing in reverse. We're going to move this switch forward and we're going to close the lens right down until you hear that click. The memory card and the battery are located in the compartment at the bottom of the camera. To open it, simply slide this to the side and you can insert and remove the battery as so. To turn the camera on and off, you have the main switch here, right below the mode dial. Above the on and off button, you have the main mode dial. Now this has a really great feature that will actually lock in place to prevent you bumping it out of your desired mode. So when you're scrolling through, make sure you press the lock button down in the center and you can really easy move through the different zones on that mode dial. We start with the auto, which is green. Green is go. Moving up from there, we have the manual modes. And if we move the dial right around to the other side, you'll notice that there is movie mode, scenes, and creative auto. On the top of the camera, you have these two dials to the side. First is the exposure compensation. This is a really quick and easy way for you to adjust the exposure of your shot. To make it brighter, simply move the dial to the positive side, and to make it darker, move it down to the negative side. Next to the exposure compensation dial, you have the dial function control. Now this is customizable, so you can change it to a variety of things. At the moment, it's set to white balance or ISO. So I simply press this button and I can then use the dial to control my white balance, or press it one more time to control my ISO. Now you know where all the main dials are on the camera, you're ready to take a shot. To do this, you need to half press down the main shutter here and fully press it down to take the shot. You'll also notice that there is another control dial underneath the shutter. Again, this is customizable, so you can assign a different feature within the custom menu, and I'll show you how to do that in a later video. Next to the shutter button, you have the MFN button. This can be assigned to a variety of things within the custom menu. The last button that we have on top of our camera here is the pop-up flash. So when we press this little symbol, our built-in flash pops up. If you want something a little bit more powerful, you can accessorize this camera with the hot shoe with an external flash or even a microphone. One of the key differences with the Canon EOS M5 is this electronic viewfinder. Now, as I look through the viewfinder, I can adjust what I see to my eyesight with the diopter, which is located directly beneath the viewfinder here. With the electronic viewfinder on the camera, it has a built-in proximity sensor. This allows the camera to quickly detect whether you're using the viewfinder or the LCD screen to display your image in the appropriate one. On the back of the camera here, we have the AE button, so this will lock in our exposure. This button here is also really helpful in the playback mode. It allows you to zoom into your photos. This button here will allow you to change your AF selection points. So when you're shooting, you can toggle around and move your focus point. Beneath that, we have the info button. The info button is fantastic for cycling through the different display screens. It also includes the electronic level, which really does help to get your lines nice and straight. Next to the info button, you have the record. So this little red button here is how you would start and stop your movie recordings. On the back of the camera here, you have the little Q button. This is a really quick and easy way to navigate around the back of the camera for those commonly used camera settings. When you're ready to lock that in, you can simply press the set button. On the left-hand side of the dial, the back of the camera, you'll see MF. MF stands for manual focus, and when you press this, you can toggle between your manual focus or your autofocus. When you are in manual focus, you'll use the outer focus ring here to adjust the focus of your shot and make sure it's nice and sharp. And on the other side of the dial here, you'll notice the flash button. This is to control whether you have the flash on or flash off. So you can cycle through your different flash options by pressing this button. Now I'm sure you've taken a lot of really great shots and now you want to look at them. To do so, you need to press the playback button here, which is located in blue. When we press this little button, the images that you've taken will come up on the screen, and you can either scroll through them quickly by using the back thumb dial here, or you can use the touchscreen. Now, if you want to take a closer look at the image that you've just taken, use the pinch zoom on the back of the screen so you can zoom in nice and close and check out how sharp those images are. On the bottom of the camera, next to the playback mode, is the menu. You'll have a few different options here, so let's keep it simple. In the red menu, this is where you can control all of your camera settings. So if you wanted to change the image quality or perhaps the different shooting information, you would do that in the red camera menu. When you jump across into the yellow menu, this is where you can change some of the different functions of the camera. For example, the date and time, the format, or even resetting the camera to factory settings. The next menu is the orange menu. This is for your custom functions. So you can assign specific modes to your custom functions button. And the last menu tab is in green, which is my menu. So here you can customize your menu to the way that you would like to see it in your camera. Another feature that I really love about the Canon EOS M5 is the LCD screen. So when I want to change my angle, I can simply flip the screen out, shoot from a different perspective. It's really good for getting down nice and low or shooting from above. Okay, so let's move on to the side of the camera. On this side here, you'll notice you have your HDMI port, and beneath it you have the Wi-Fi button. The Wi-Fi is a really quick and easy way for transferring your images onto a mobile device. For more information on how to do that, make sure you check out the video below. On the other side of the camera, as we open this up, we have the USB port and the microphone ports. On the front of the camera, you'll notice the built-in speaker and microphone ports here, and also the focal plane mark on the top of the camera, which is really handy for those macro photographers. On the front of the camera, right here, you have this little button, which is really fantastic for taking full control of your autofocus when using the electronic viewfinder. When I look through the viewfinder and I touch this button, I'll see an option that tells me that my AF touch and drag is turned on. While I have that button pressed down, I can use the back of the screen to control exactly where my AF point is going to be. I hope this video has helped you get to know a little bit more about your EOS M5. Make sure to check out the next video in the series where I'll be talking about some of the more advanced features to help you do more with your camera.